You know those chapters in the Bible, the ones that are just lists and numbers and your eyes start to glaze over? Well, today, we're diving headfirst into one of the biggest of them all, Numbers 29. But we're not just going to read it. Oh no, we are going to build this chapter in our minds, piece by piece, creating a visual blueprint of this incredible holy month that will be almost impossible to forget. Ready? Let's go. So here's our roadmap, our festival tour, if you will. We're going to start with a blast of trumpets, then pivot to the solemn Day of Atonement, launch into a massive week-long party, and then wrap it all up with Moses' final instructions. Let's jump right in. All right, picture this. The calendar flips over to the 7th month. There's a buzz in the air, a real sense of anticipation. See, this isn't just any old month. It's the grand finale of the entire festival year, and it kicks off with a sound you just can't ignore. We start with verse 1. It's day 1 of month 7. The defining sound of the day is the shofar, the ram's horn, just blasting across the hillsides, calling everyone together. It's a holy gathering, a national holiday, so all the normal work grinds to a halt. Then, verse 2 shows us the main event. Right at the center of everything, you've got the burnt offering. 1 young bull, 1 powerful ram, and 7 perfect, unblemished lambs. Burn that image into your mind. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs. We're going to call that the 117 formula.
Okay, so what goes with the main course? Verse 3 gives us the sacred recipe for the grain offering. For that big bowl, you need 3/10 of a measure of fine flour mixed with oil. For the ram, it's 2/10. And then verse 4 finishes the recipe. For every single one of those 7 lambs, you need 1/10 of a measure. See that pattern? It's a simple countdown. 3, 2, 1. It's a key detail you'll want to remember.
But wait, there's more. Verse 5 adds another animal to the mix. Picture a single male goat being brought forward. Now this one's different. Its purpose is to be a sin offering, a way to make things right for the nation. Then verse 6 gives us some super important context. It's basically saying that everything we just talked about, the 117, the 3-2-1 recipe, the 1 goat, this is all extra. It's on top of all the regularly scheduled daily and new moon offerings that are already happening. It's a special edition for a special day. Okay. Fast forward 9 days. The mood completely shifts. All that celebration and noise from the trumpets, it's gone. It's replaced by this deep, quiet, national introspection. We have arrived at the most serious, most significant day of the entire Israelite year. Verse 7 lays it all out. It's the 10th day of the month. Again, it's a holy gathering, a day off from work. But there's this really unique command. You shall afflict your souls. So what does that mean? Well, it means a nationwide fast. It's a day for deep, personal, quiet reflection on your life and your standing with God. It's a day of prayer, not a party. Now get this. What offering is commanded for such a solemn day? Verse 8 tells us, a burnt offering of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs. Hold on a second. Sound familiar? It should. It's the exact same 117 formula from the first day of the month. And the pattern continues. Verse 9 details the grain offering, 3/10 for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and verse 10 finishes it, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, the exact 3-2-1 recipe again. This repetition is so intentional, creating this powerful ritual link between these 2 major holidays. And verse 11 comes in with a clarification about the sin offering. Just like on the first of the month, 1 male goat is required. But the text is super careful to point out that this goat is in addition to everything else happening that day. And there's a lot. It's separate from the famous sin offering for the Day of Atonement described elsewhere, and it's also in addition to the regular daily stuff. Man, what a busy and layered day at the sanctuary. All right, everybody take a deep breath, because we're shifting gears again. Big time. Just 5 days after that quiet, solemn day of fasting, the whole atmosphere just explodes. We're launching into the biggest, longest, most joyful celebration of the year, the Feast of Tabernacles. Verse 12 kicks off the party. It's the 15th day of the month. You guessed it, another holy gathering, another national holiday. But this isn't just a one-day thing. This is the start of a 7-day feast. It's all about pure joy, celebrating the harvest, and remembering the journey through the wilderness by living in these little temporary shelters or booths. And this brings us to verse 13, and this is where the numbers just go off the charts. Forget 1 bull. On day 1 of this feast, the offering requires 13 young bulls. I mean, just try to picture the sheer scale of that. And that's not all. Along with those 13 bulls, they need 2 rams and 14 lambs. The scale of worship has just exploded.
So let's get the full inventory for day 1. Verse 14 lays out the grain offerings for the big guys, 3/10 for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams. Then verse 15 covers the lambs, 1/10 for each of the 14. And finally, verse 16 adds in that sin offering we're now familiar with, 1 male goat. This massive list is our starting point for the whole week.
So that was just day 1, an absolutely massive offering. But what happens for the next 6 days? Well, this is where it gets really cool and honestly super easy to remember. The instructions give us this amazing structured pattern. It's a 7-day countdown, and the key is the bulls. This slide shows you the whole pattern at a glance. Let's just walk through it. Verses 17 through 19 cover day 2. The offering, 12 bulls, 1 less than yesterday. Everything else, the 2 rams, 14 lambs, 1 goat, stays the same. Then verses 20 through 22 give us day 3. The bulls drop to 11. Everything else, the same. And this exact pattern just continues all week. Day 4, 10 bulls. Day 5, 9. Day 6, 8. And finally, on the 7th day, which we read about in verses 32 through 34, they offer 7 bulls. It's a perfect, memorable countdown.
So after 7 straight days of this incredible festival, you think everyone would just pack up and go home, right? Nope. There is one more day. A special, final, concluding day that stands all on its own. Verse 35 introduces this last day. It's called a sacred assembly, and it's important to note this is not technically part of the Feast of Tabernacles. It's a distinct event. One last time, the whole nation is told to stop work and gather together for a solemn conclusion to the entire festival season. So what do they offer on this grand finale? Verse 36 lays it out. 1 bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs. Verse 37 adds their grain offerings, and verse 38 adds 1 goat for a sin offering. Now stop and think. Does that ring a bell? It's the exact same 117 formula that started the entire month back on the Feast of Trumpets. The whole holy month is perfectly bookended. It starts and ends with the exact same act of worship. How amazing is that? So now a chapter kind of zooms out. We've gone through all the nitty-gritty details, all the staggering numbers, and now we get the why. What's the point of this incredibly detailed blueprint?
Verse 39 gives us the answer, and it is crystal clear. All of these festivals we've just walked through, this is the national calendar of worship. This is what everyone does together, and it's meant to be performed in addition to an individual's own personal worship, their vows, their free will gifts, their peace offerings. It's not an either or, it's a both and. It's a complete system that covers both the community and the individual.
And the chapter wraps up with verse 40, a simple sentence that is just packed with meaning. Moses told the people everything. He didn't just give them the highlights. He didn't paraphrase. He delivered this complex, detailed, divine blueprint perfectly, exactly as he received it. It's a powerful picture of faithful obedience.
And that leaves us with this big question, doesn't it? Why? Why all the detail, the precision, the repetition? Maybe it's because worship wasn't meant to be just a random feeling, but a structured, disciplined rhythm built right into the calendar, into the very fabric of their lives. And that makes you wonder, what are the rhythms and the intentional patterns that structure our own lives of faith today?